Morning everyone. Welcome to the 211th webinar of our Saturday webinar series hosted by Managed Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. So myself, Dr. Ahalya, working as a Managed Fellow. We are proud to have organized 200 webinars covering a broad range of topics related to agri startup ecosystem conducted every Saturday since October 10, 2020. This open webinar series, in contrast to the many training programs and mentoring programs, is more widely accessible and aim to benefit a large number of aspiring entrepreneurs and other stakeholders. Managed Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship is recognized as a center of excellence in agribusiness incubation and acts as a knowledge partner to strengthen, guide, and demonstrate best practices for agribusiness incubators operating under the esteemed Nestle Institute of Agriculture Extension Management. We feel proud to announce that our center has nurtured 847 entrepreneurs and supported over 425 startups across various sectors within the agriculture domain. We navigate innovation from ideation to full-scale commercialization with our unique methodology that gives a robust ecosystem from discovering ideas to delivering high-value proposition in a sustainable environment. Imagine a place where your ideas are not just heard but celebrated and honed into high-value proposition. Our comprehensive support system offering expert guidance, specialized training in crucial areas such as agro-processing, post-harvest technologies, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, fishery, dairy, commodity trading, supply chain management, and agri consultancy. We are not just about business, but we are about building futures. Our commitment to your success is unwavering. We work to refine your concepts and empower you to expand your ventures, ensuring you have the tools, knowledge, and confidence to navigate the challenges of the agribusiness world. So today's webinar is going to talk about fintech startups for agriculture. So in order to discuss this topic, we have two speakers with us. Our first speaker is Dr. Vikrant Bhavani sir. So he's a co-founder of Krishifin, and he's a professional in rural and agribusiness, specialized in areas like agri-finance, KCC, and rural loans and fintech. With significant experience in managing new businesses and initiatives, he has played a key role in shaping products and policies in rural sector. He is dedicated to driving the agri-tech and fintech revolution in the rural India, collaborating with the startups in the agri-tech and BFSI sector to innovate and expand opportunities in agriculture and finance. So with this short introduction, let me introduce our first speaker, Dr. Vikrant Bhavane sir, to take over the session.
Thank you, Dr. Ahalya, and thank you, Manage, for giving this opportunity. So let me share my screen and then we can, dwell more on this topic. So again, good morning all. I'm Vikrant Bhavane. I am a rural and agri-finance professional, spent about 16 plus years in agri and rural financing domain, having worked with banks and financial institutions and other agri enterprises. Like most of you all, I'm presuming I am also, you are all agri, background people. I'm also from agriculture background. I'm proud to say that I am a pass out of Manage Hyderabad, and Krishifin as a platform has been also incubated at Manage. We were also the award winners in one of the first Agri Eureka competitions, and post that with the help of Manage and other agri and rural fraternity and banks and financial institutions and our partners, Krishifin as a platform has scaled up rapidly. Today we have delivered multiple crores of credit in agri and rural domain, and we are proud of that, and we want to support more in this sector, bring more credit solutions to this sector and help this economy thrive, right? So that's the brief introduction about what is my background, what we do, and how Manage has shaped Krishifin's journey, right? Now coming to today's topic, fintech for agriculture. So Krishifin as a platform exactly, is fintech for agriculture, I would say. Krishifin is a one-stop solution for agri and rural finance. And when I say one-stop solution, it is a one-stop solution for farmers and rural communities to access various credit and financial solutions on one single platform. Rather than going to different places or understanding different products and solutions, they can access everything from one single platform. It is also a one-stop solution for banks and financial institutions to deliver credit and financial product to deeper geographies of India, right? And it's also a one-stop solution, as most of agri startups deal with farmers and rural India. So for them also, it's a one-stop solution to enable credit and financial product to their customer base. Right? Remember, as we all know, credit is the oil in the economy, right? You need money to flow into the economy for the economy to grow. And the same is in agri and rural area. We need to deliver credit to this economy for better infrastructure to be built, for investment in better technologies, right? And for other needs of farmers and rural communities, right? So that they can grow. So Krishifin exactly solves that. As a platform, our vision is to drive financial prosperity for Bharat. And when I say financial prosperity, as I said, credit is one angle, investments and insurance are other angle, and we will cover step by step all of that in our journey ahead. And our immediate mission is to empower farmers, agri and rural businesses, right, through formal finance, through our partner financial institutions. That's our mission statement, and we are right on path of that. We work with a lot of agri startups and help them to enable credit to their farmers and rural customer base, right? That is our way and method to enable fintech in agriculture, enable finance in agriculture, enable finance in agri and rural communities, right? And the exact problem we are solving in this area is basically the problem of access, right? So India has about 6.5 lakh villages, right? If you look at the commercial bank branches presence in rural and semi-urban India, it is about 50 to 60,000 commercial bank branches only in rural India, right? To cover 6.5 lakh villages, right? So the credit penetration in rural India is very, very low, just about 22% as per various sources. The NAFIS survey, NABARD survey has recently been, rolled out. Still about 25% of our population in rural India accesses finance from informal sources, right? There is a huge gap in rural MSME and agri segment in terms of credit. This agri MSMEs and rural MSMEs, smaller businesses, many of them are run by farmers and agriculture graduates. They face huge credit gap, right? And if you look at the demand has been growing in terms of credit in this market. It is growing almost twice that of urban India, right? So there is a huge demand. This is RBI data, right? And when you talk to anybody in rural India, you will say that you take typically 2 to 3 months to identify for a particular size of credit to get the credit and credit delivered to them, right? Money were delivered to them, right? And that's the exact challenge we are solving, right? And we are also solving the challenge of banks to reach this population, right? This rural and semi-urban economy is set to grow by almost 2x of this present size in the next 6 7 years, right? So we need to support this economy through this finance, and that's where Krishifin is involved. Krishifin is doing its work and getting a tremendous support from the partner financial institutions and also agri startups. So talking about the core team, I have already explained my background. Sanjog is the co-founder. He is expert in transaction advisory and infrastructure. He leads the whole operations at Reshifin. There are other people who support us on the tech side. We have a huge tech platform which enables delivery of these credit products to the deeper geographies of India. And what's our model? So our model is basically, if you look at as a platform approach, on the supply side, we have various banks and financial institutions who are active lenders in rural and semi-urban India. And on the from these financial institutions, we have got curated agri and rural loan products like typical KCC, agribusiness loan, tractor loans, dairy loans, agri infrastructure loans, and other rural credit needs we have got on the platform. We also do finance to FPOs, right, through our partner financial institutions. And this platform is integrated with banks, right? So we are directly connected to banks. They are our partners on this platform. And this platform is then given to our anchor partners. They could be agri companies, agri tech companies, agri enterprises, rural development agencies, or agri consultants who work with farmers, right, on various credit products and services. And as part of that, they would also like to, give credit or fintech or finance as a service, right, to these farmers. So the farmers can access credit products from the same partners whom they are working with, like for seed, pesticide, advisory, fertilizers, or developmental agencies, right? So all these partners did not, work with different banks or understand different credit products, right? They can simply use our platform, plug and play. If they have physical people resources on ground, we can give this platform to them. They can do assisted onboarding of these farmers who need credit, right? It becomes very, very simple for these partners to, deliver credit to their customer base or farmer base. And it becomes easy for farmers to access credit from the same agency or the person whom they are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, right? This creates a lot of trust, and this creates a lot of support on the ground for the farmer to get credit from the same agency or the partner whom he is working with on the ground on various needs and services, right? So that's the platform. Through this platform, we have, currently been delivering credit for farmers, agribusinesses, individuals in rural India who need money to grow their businesses or for various their needs. The platform is multilingual. It can be accessed from the same partners platform whom we work with. The onboarding journey is less than 1 minute. They get free credit score. 70% of the farmers who access our platform get access to credit score. With that, we have been able to help them to understand their credit history, make them understand various aspects of their credit history, the challenges, if there are any in their credit history or credit score. So we get a lot of questions on that from the farmers, and we, in a way, also help them, give them financial literacy about various credit products. And through one platform, rather than going to different banks and financial institutions, they can get access to multiple credit options, right? So bank A is offering this, bank B is offering this, which product is better, what suits them more, where they are eligible for. They can get everything on the same platform, right? And through multiple financial institutions. That's the beauty of it. That's where farmers and rural population have, appreciated the feature. Plus, they get regular updates and credit advisory assistance from our platform on what is happening on their loan application process. This is also a challenge. They don't know, once they apply for a loan, what is happening, where it is stuck, what problem needs to be solved in documentation. All that assistance they get from our platform. They also get to know various product financial terms, like difference between a cash credit and a term loan. Many of them don't know. So Kisan credit card is basically a cash credit product, right? It has to be used like a cash credit product, right? So how to use, better utilize these financial facilities is also supported from us, right? So that's the, benefit for the end user, which is essentially the farmer and rural businesses and agri businesses. So we have built this platform on a very, very robust technological platform. It is completely designed in-house. It is very secured. It is designed considering the user in mind. That's why it is multilingual. It is very, very easy process we have kept. Nowhere anybody has to enter any kind of alphabet. It is just selection of some, filters or uploading of some documents. Very, very simple click of a button. It is easily, and it's cloud based, no code platform for anybody to plug and play, or any startup which is has a digital platform and farmers on this platform, they can easily plug and play this solution on their platform, right? So it is a no code one. We have made it very, very customizable and adoptable. It's very, very fast. So, in the less than 1 minute, farmers can onboard themselves, be it assisted or by self, and they can instantly get their credit scores and get to know, what they are eligible for. And most important thing, it is compliant and very, very secure. All the data is on the cloud in India. Very, very secure platform. That's how banks have also appreciated this platform and happily onboarded us to integrate with them. Compliance, in terms of, so we handle a lot of sensitive data, so compliance is also priority for us. We are compliant on most of the things, and we continue to invest more on compliance. Talking about what differentiate us, we serve the complete rural and semi-urban segment with retail, agri and business loans. So farmers, be it large, medium and small, right? Individuals who are working in rural and want to do something, and need credit, they can also come to us. Businesses, be it agri or non-agri businesses, but in rural areas, small, medium, and large, can get access to various financial products from this platform. Even women borrowers, we have many women borrowers whom we have helped them, get credit and support their businesses like dairy loans and stuff, right? And these unique features like plug and play assessment engines, right, are also very unique to Krishifin. So I wanted to be short on what we do and speak more about how we can support FPOs to get funds, how we can support their farmers within FPOs to get access to credit, how we can support various agri startups or rural development agencies to get access to credit to their user base, farmer base, right? And how we can also work to basically give various financial solutions to agri and rural communities. That's what Krishifin is all about. We have done a long journey. In the last 1 year, we have disbursed close to 50 plus crores in this community through our partner financial institutions. I wanted to again clarify, it is the bank finally who gives these loans to the eligible customers or farmers. It is completely as per RBI's guideline and as per the bank's guideline, right? So we act as a platform to deliver these products onto the ground with the help of various startups or agri and rural development institutions, right? So that's what all about, and we can have questions or have discussions, and I'm open to that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for discussing Krishifin, one-stop solution for banks and financial solution, and how it is empowering the farmers and also agribusiness stakeholders and rural agents for providing the credit. So this is will be definitely will be going to be useful for the all the participants. So the participants, if you have any questions, you can keep in chat box or also you can raise your hand. So the questions will be taken up after second speaker presentation. So be in line, sir.
Dr.
We will get
Alia,
the question.
sorry. Somebody mentioned that in should be covered in Hindi as well. So can I take 5 minutes to say what we do in Hindi?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. You can.
Okay,
एक
thank you, धन्यवाद.
मिनट
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर आलिया। और मेरा नाम विक्रांत भावने है, मैं को फाउंडर हूँ कृषिफिन का। सो कृषिफिन एक प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसके जरिए हम जो भी बैंकों के वित्तीय प्रोडक्ट्स है, क्रेडिट प्रोडक्ट्स है, लोन प्रोडक्ट्स है, जो फार्मर्स, एग्री बिजनेस और रूरल कम्युनिटीज को चाहिए, वो हम इस प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए डिलीवर करते हैं। कृषिफिन मैनेज का ही इनक्यूबेटिव स्टार्टअप है। कृषिफिन रिसेंटली एसपीजेएमआर, जो एक जाना माना इंस्टीट्यूट है, भारत का मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट, उसके फिनोवेट प्रोग्राम में भी अवार्ड किया गया है। मैनेज में भी, एग्री यूरेका में भी अवार्ड किया गया है। मेरा बैकग्राउंड बताऊं तो मैं एक एग्री और रूरल बैंकर रहा हूँ 16 साल तक। और बैंकिंग क्षेत्र में काम करने के बाद ये जो जरूरत है अपने ग्रामीण भागों में और किसानों की जो क्रेडिट प्रोडक्ट की, उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए हमने कृषिफिन बनाया। तो कृषिफिन एक प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसके जरिए मैंने कहा कि वेरियस जो अलग अलग तरह के एग्री और रूरल लोन प्रोडक्ट्स है, जैसे कहा कि किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड है, डेयरी के संबंधी लोन है, अपने ट्रैक्टर लोन है, ये 16 तरह के अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट, एफपीओ के लिए लोन है, उनके किसानों के लिए लोन है, राइट। तो ये सारे प्रोडक्ट हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाए हैं। ये टेक्नोलॉजी प्लेटफॉर्म है और इस प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए हम तरह तरह के एग्रीकल्चर संस्थाएं या अपने एग्रीकल्चर स्टार्टअप, उनको ये प्लेटफॉर्म देते हैं ताकि वो अपने प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए इन क्रेडिट प्रोडक्ट्स को फार्मर के तक पहुंचाया जा सके, राइट। सो हम उनके साथ इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं या उनके साथ काम कर सकते हैं और उनके किसानों को या उनके कस्टमर्स को ये एग्रीकल्चर लोन्स दिला सकते हैं, राइट। इसके लिए हमने तरह तरह की बैंकें और वित्तीय संस्था से टाई अप किया हुआ है। हमारे साथ जानी मानी बैंकें हैं जिसके जरिए हम ये लोन दिलाते हैं। आज तक हमने करीबन 50 करोड़ का लोन किसानों और ग्रामीण बिजनेसेस को दिलवाया है इस प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए, राइट। ये प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए क्रेडिट स्कोर भी जाना जा सकता है किसानों का, और ये प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए हम उनको मदद करते हैं उनका क्रेडिट स्कोर जानने में, तरह तरह के क्रेडिट प्रोडक्ट जानने में, क्या ऑप्शंस है, किसमें वो एलिजिबल है और क्या बेस्ट उनके लिए रहेगा, ये उनको मदद करते हैं। और इस एक प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू भारत के सभी किसान या रूरल कस्टमर्स और रूरल पॉपुलेशन तरह तरह के वित्तीय प्रोडक्ट्स की जानकारी या उनका लाभ ले सकते हैं। यही कृषिफिन है। कृषिफिन आगे और काम करेगा। अभी हमने सिर्फ 50 करोड़ किया है, वो भी काफी बड़ी अमाउंट है। हम चाहते हैं कि सभी किसान और सभी एग्री स्टार्टअप और वेरियस रूरल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसीज एफपीओ इस प्लेटफॉर्म का लाभ ले। एक तरह से देखा जाए तो फिनटेक फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एज अ सर्विस है कृषिफिन, राइट। आप कृषिफिन को लेके अपने किसानों को तरह तरह के वित्तीय प्रोडक्ट्स दिलवा सकते हैं, राइट। यही कृषिफिन है। अगर आपको कुछ सवाल हो तो हम सेकंड पैनल डिस्कशन के बाद ले सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
यस, थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, you are audible.
Ashish, sir? I think he muted.
Hi, good
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect. So, shall we start, sir? Yes, sir. So, to introduce
Yes.
our second speaker, let me call my colleague Josephine to introduce our second speaker.
Thank you, Rahalya. Good morning, participants. Myself, Josephine, working as a content developer under RKVY-RAFTAAR project at Manage CIA, Hyderabad. Our second speaker, Mr. Ashish, is the founder and CEO of Blue Finance, India's largest tokenization platform, bridging 2 decades of financial expertise with cutting-edge distributed ledger technology. He is dedicated to connecting cryptocurrency with real-world applications, transforming the financial domain. A chartered accountant by training, Mr. Ashish has also completed a management development program on social startups from IIM Lucknow. He is currently working on innovation solutions in crypto and tokenization space. Welcome to the today's session, sir, and hand it over to you.
Thank you, Josephine, for the introduction. Just a small change here. We work on blockchain, which is the technology behind cryptocurrencies as well, but our focus is on blockchain, not using cryptocurrency. Just a small correction there. Thanks a lot for the introduction, and thankfully I was able to join in time. Had been having some sort of technical problem with WebEx. So good morning, everyone. Already you have heard about fintechs in agriculture space from Crisify. I wanted to understand, Saurav or Dr. Rohelia, if you can let me know what is the expectation. Are we going to talk about fintechs at large in agriculture, or you want to talk me about the product which we are developing? How you want me to do that?
Sir, you can also share your experiences and also how these fintech startups are used in agriculture also. So it
Okay.
would be better.
Sure, ma'am. So only problem is that because I'm using browser, I cannot share my own screen. So someone will have to run the slide for me. Thank you. So just to give you, as was mentioned, I'm founder of Whirl. I am founder of Brew Finance. So there are 2 companies we run. One is called Whirl, one is called Brew Finance. Whirl is the brand name we use in India. Brew is our international company, which is focused on taking the same solution in different other parts of the world. And as was mentioned, we use tokenization. हिंदी में बात करूं क्या? पहले शायद ऐसा कहा गया था कि हिंदी में बात करें. अच्छा, ठीक है. So क्या है कि ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी जो है उसका इस्तेमाल करके हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया है. ब्लॉकचेन, जैसा आप लोगों को पता है, एक टेक्नोलॉजी है जिसका सबसे पहला इस्तेमाल क्रिप्टो करेंसी बिटकॉइन को बनाने में किया गया था, लेकिन उसके बाद आज के टाइम में सब जगह इसका इस्तेमाल हो रहा है. बैंकों में हो रहा है, बैंकों से बाहर हो रहा है, रियल एस्टेट में हो रहा है, ट्रेडिंग करने के लिए हो रहा है, और क्रिप्टो करेंसी में तो होता ही आया है, वो होता ही रहेगा. तो इसकी एक प्रॉपर्टी होती है, उसको हम कहते हैं टोकेनाइजेशन. टोकेनाइजेशन क्या होता है कि अगर आपके पास कोई फिजिकल एसेट है, मान लीजिए आपका घर है, और वो आप ब्लॉकचेन के ऊपर किसी तरीके से उसका डेटा रिकॉर्ड करना चाहते हो तो वो एक टोकन की तरह रिकॉर्ड होता है, तो इसलिए हम उसको टोकेनाइजेशन उस प्रोसेस को बोलते हैं। तो बहुत सारे तरीके के एसेट्स टोकेनाइज हो सकते हैं, आपका घर हो सकता है, आपके जूते हो सकते हैं, आपकी घड़ी हो सकती है, किसान का अनाज हो सकता है जो हम कर रहे हैं, और कोई भी एसेट, इनवॉइस हो सकता है, डेटर हो सकता है, चाहे टेंजिबल एसेट हो, नॉन टेंजिबल एसेट हो, अगर हम उसको ब्लॉकचेन पर लेकर आते हैं तो वो टोकन बन जाता है। तो हमने कमोडिटी टोकेनाइजेशन में इसका इस्तेमाल किया क्योंकि वही हमारा फील्ड है। और अभी हम इंडिया में ही नहीं, हम दुनिया में कमोडिटी टोकेनाइजेशन में सबसे बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म हैं। और इसलिए जहां हम इंडिया में वर्ल्ड ब्रांड का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, दुनिया में अदर देशों में हम ब्रू फाइनेंस का भी इस्तेमाल करते हैं। और आज अगर क्रिप्टो करेंसी को छोड़ दिया जाए तो इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा ब्लॉकचेन प्लेटफॉर्म हमारा प्लेटफॉर्म है। अब आते हैं अगले स्लाइड पर।
Saurabh, just
हाय फार्म टू प्लेट गोपीनाथ, थैंक यू। हम मराठी में इस भाषा का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, हम हिंदी भाषा का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। आप हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं, आपको सारी भाषाएं मिलेंगी जिस जिस रीजन में हम प्रेजेंट हैं। हम अफ्रीका में स्वाहिली का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हम एक कॉमन लैंग्वेज का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते, दुनिया कॉमन नहीं है, तो इसलिए जो है हमें उसके चेंज करना पड़ता है। थैंक यू फॉर योर सजेशन। तो हम वापस आते हैं, और जैसा हमने बताया, हमने सबसे पहले शुरुआत की वेयरहाउस रिसीट फाइनेंस से। और वेयरहाउस रिसीट फाइनेंस जैसा आप लोगों को पता होगा क्योंकि आप लोग मैनेज के छात्र हैं, तो वेयरहाउस रिसीट फाइनेंस जो है पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट, जब आपका हार्वेस्ट हो जाता है और उस समय फार्मर को सही कीमत नहीं मिलती है, उस समय हम जो है उनको लोन देते हैं उनकी अनाज के बदले में, अनाज की सिक्योरिटी के बदले में, सो दैट वो 2 से 3 महीने के बाद अपना अनाज बेच सकें, बेटर प्रॉफिट कमा सकें। तो वो है वेयर हाउस रिसीट फाइनेंस, हमने वहाँ से शुरुआत की। और अभी हम दुनिया के कई देशों में जैसे वर्ल्ड बैंक और आईएफसी के साथ मिलकर प्री हार्वेस्ट फाइनेंस को भी टोकेनाइज कर रहे हैं। मतलब जबकि हम सीड की सप्लाई कर रहे हैं या हम फर्टिलाइजर की सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, तो वो भी हम ब्लॉकचेन पे उसको भी लेकर आ रहे हैं। और ये हमारे कुछ
one
इंडिया।
small correction. Actually, participants are also they need common English, it seems. So first we'll
वेरी
explain English. At last we'll just give some
ओके,
short 5 minutes about Hindi. That
श्योर,
would be fine because yes,
ओके, ऑल
yes,
राइट
sir.
मैम, सो दैट्स गुड बिकॉज थोड़ा अभी क्या है, हिंदी में बोलने की स्पीड कम हो गई है
Yes, yes, sir.
because of the continuous use of English.
Yes, yeah,
So yeah, let's go to the next slide, please.
yeah.
Uh, as I mentioned, we are one of the largest players in this space. We have tokenized more than $700 million, means approximately 6,500 crore of warehouse receipt finance. Warehouse receipt have been issued on this platform. We work with banks in India. We work with government agencies. We work with agencies outside of India as well. So already we have got 1,200 crore rupee of credit limit from all these banks. 200 crore plus have been disbursed to the farmers without any delinquency so far. We have a network of 1,500 godowns in India, and we have 20 lakhs metric ton of storage capacity. So enough capacity for entertaining a lot of farmers, also non-farmers, into this category as well. Next slide, Saurabh, please. So let's talk about agri-fintechs. That was our introduction. But let's talk about agri-fintechs. Why the need for agri-fintechs? So we have been doing for last 60, 70 years, we have focused on, as we call it, the green revolution, which has really brought rewards to the farmers. But let us be very clear of one part, that farmers still are largely a very small earners. Their income is very low because of the low, first of all, the low land size is holding of Indian farmers. 85% of our farmers are small and marginal farmers. 75% of our farmers are not part of the formal credit ecosystem. So what happens, as we all know, credit is the fuel of any sort of enterprise. Without loans, nothing works. Capitalism simply doesn't work. I mean, it works to a its impact is very low. So credit comes at a catalyst. It comes at a multiplier of income as well for everyone. As you can see, each and every organization runs on credit. So if you don't have access to credit, what happens that income levels will always remain low. So as we can see onto the next slide, as I mentioned already, there is a $3 trillion gap in agriculture financing across the globe. Means next slide, Sarah, please. Yeah, so global agri lending gap is more than $3 trillion. So you can think of that as a means that will be 1.8 crore. Sorry, 1,80,000 crore rupees. That will be the credit gap which exists. It means that much demand is from the farmers, but we are unable to meet our formal credit system is unable to meet that. Even in India, 75% farmers are not part of formal credit system, despite the fact that every year we do $20 billion of farm financing. So that is one problem. And then out of that, if you look at post-harvest financing, pre-harvest financing is still to certain extent we have covered, but post-harvest financing is less than 10% of even pre-harvest financing. So you can think of how much of it is the farmers are benefiting from post-harvest financing or lack of that. And because of that, as most of the farmers are dependent upon informal sources of credit, their average cost of credit goes beyond 20%. Not sustainable. Given that the commodity sector doesn't have margin, the farmers don't have much margin. This is not a sustainable. So we have to change that. And that's where a lot of agri-fintechs are working. We will go to the next slide and see that today agri-fintech, if you look at, so India's journey in agriculture of a startup started with agri-techs. Big agri-tech startups came in, Ninja Cart, Vehicle, Dehat, who actually provided the market linkage for the farmers. But one missing aspect was the credit part of it. And so specific fintechs who are 100% focused on the farm sector came up, both in the pre-harvest segment, post-harvest segment. Also, some of them came into the data providers as a role of data providers so that the banks can lend better. So some of them are like Satsure is working on satellite data. Other people are actually creating AI-based or alternative financing based credit scores. Similarly, in the pre-harvest finance, if you can see today, each and every part, whether equipment finance is there, dairy finance is there, input credit is there, you will find specific startups. And this is just one example list. There are in every category, there are tens of startups working into that. Plus, even the market linkage startups are not turning into fintech. So you can get loan from them or working capital finance from them as well. So that's where we focused on in starting with warehouse receipt finance. And I will talk about warehouse receipt finance a bit, how it works. Most of you will be anyway aware, but we will like to showcase how the blockchain comes into picture here. But before we go into that, so as I mentioned to you, that what agri-fintechs did that they first brought access to capital to the farmers and thereby helped into financial inclusion. But an important part, what the fintech's role are playing and why the role of fintech is important, that agriculture has always been taken as a high risk activity because of the vagaries of the market, vagaries of the weather, policies, uncertainty, and so on. And as a result, the banks have been reluctant to, of course, there have been today, you have priority sector advances, and because of that, number of banks are into agriculture financing. But they try to avoid the risky part of the agriculture business, which is not covered by the government guarantees, etc. So that's where fintechs came. And because of their access to the farmers, because of their understanding of the farmers in a better way, because of how the farming works, where the farmer is selling the goods, what type of land holding he has, what he is producing on a seasonal basis, all that data is with the fintechs. And as a, am I audible, Dr. Helia?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. Perfect.
Okay, sure. A comment came. So that risk was something which banks were not willing to take, and as a result, they avoided, to the extent it was possible, to avoid agriculture financing or post-service financing. So today, agri-fintechs are playing that role, that by giving the data, by providing the data, they are able to mitigate the or lower the risk factors for the lenders. That way, the lenders are in a position to lend now. So earlier, the risk, which was perceived risk or where the risk assessment factors were not available, agri-fintechs are providing that data to the bankers, making it possible for the banks or NBFCs to start lending more and more into this. And because agri techs also have come into fintech, so they are essentially now bringing market access with financing. So that's how agri-fintechs are actually helping both the sides. They're helping the farmers, but at the same time, they are helping the lenders in making better decision making as well, and making products available based on cash flow financing, such as market linkage data, which they have. Saurabhji, next slide, please. So if we talk about what makes, so I call it 3 Ds of 3 Ds of agri-fintech. And that is important because while you have to have provide access of capital to that category, which typically doesn't have a credit score. So you need the data, you need both the formal data, you need India stack data, you need the credit data, whatever is the past credit history. But you also are able to get, the agri fintechs are able to get the data from different sources which are informal. For example, they are able to get data, while they are able to get data from land records, etc. as well, they're also able to go to the village level, get the data from on the behavior and other aspects of the farmer, individual farmer itself. So data becomes very important. And that data has to come into digital format. For example, if you have physical land records, it's difficult to take a decision on that. But if you have digital land records, it becomes much easier. So the second part of data is it has to be digital delivery of services. Otherwise, the cost of, if it is not digital, if it is physical, the cost of serving farmers, because the loan ticket size is very small, it becomes difficult for a lender to profitably serve the farmer segment. So you need digital lending throughout, so that the cost of paper, the cost of going to the branch, the opening of a branch, all of that can be avoided. And final part is delivery, so which is linked to digitization anyway, that this credit has to be delivered. So it has to be delivered at the doorstep of the farmer. Farmers should not come to the bank branch. Farmers should not wait for an agent to come and so on. So these 3 Ds are important, and which makes a digital delivery of credit to farmers possible. So this was about agri-fintech in general. I will take a couple of slides on what we do in tokenization or blockchain space, and then we will finish and we can move to the question answer session. So first part is warehouse receipt finance. A very simple product. Everybody is aware. Most of the people in agriculture sector will be aware. Farmer produces the commodity, doesn't get the right price because at the time of harvest, the price goes down. So what the option farmers has? The farmers, one option is that farmers can sell at that point of time, which means that they will not earn much. The second option is that they can hold. and they can sell at the right point of time. Typically, it has been seen the pattern that after 3 to 4 months, prices go back to the average level for the year. So then what do we do? Because the farmer says that I don't have money to hold. I also need money to run my household, because farm households are dependent on farming income. Everything is related to farming income. When the harvest will happen, there is a list of expenses that the farmer has to do. I come from a rural area, and I will tell you what, for the most of you will also be from rural area. In our time, the government used to take fee from the rural community only twice in a year, and both were at the time of harvest, because most of the people were from the farming community. So if even your son's education or daughter's education is dependent upon your harvest time, so, or if you want to do some household repairs, marriages, festivals, everything is after the harvest. Plus, the next crop has to be shown as well, and for that input is required as well. So, farmer says, if I hold that, how do I do all these expenses? So it's a dilemma for the farmers: sell or not sell. So that is where warehouse receipt finance comes in. It helps the farmers to borrow money against the crop so that they can repay the loan after 2 to 3 months when they sell the commodity. And supposingly if commodity prices have even gone up by 10%, typical will be 10 to 30%, but supposingly it has gone up only by 10%, still what will be your typical farmer's interest cost will be less than 1% for 3 months time. Similarly, there will be some logistic cost, maybe another 1%, maybe 2% maximum. So you still farmers make good money as per NIAM's. You guys know NIAM. So as per NIAM's data, warehouse receipt finance, after all the cost, helps farmers in 90% of the cases to get 25 to 30% higher income. So that's the beauty of warehouse receipt finance. However, in India, given the fact that we do around $200 billion of lending, means 15 lakh crore to 20 lakh crore rupee of lending target is this year, warehouse receipt finance is less than 1 lakh crore. And out of that, 95% goes to traders and mills. It means what the farmers are getting as warehouse receipt finance, nothing. So we try to solve that problem, and that's where, as I said, data, digital, and delivery at the doorstep. That's what on those principles we built that, wherein every person in the ecosystem, whether it is the borrower, whether it is the warehouse, whether it's the bank, whether it's the commodity exchange, whether it's the verification agency, collateral managers, all of that are on a single blockchain platform. It means the farmer comes to warehouse, deposits the commodity, generates a warehouse receipt, gets loan. He can get loan in real time. He gets the loan in real time immediately. He makes a loan application to the bank passes the loan application. Hardly the average we have, and he doesn't have to go to the bank. He comes to the warehouse, deposits the commodity, gets the loan there itself. That is where we use blockchain as a technology, because using blockchain, you can connect many type of enterprises, different type of enterprises on a single platform. So as banks and warehouses are connected, as the collateral managers or verification agencies are connected, as the price data comes from ENAM and CDX marketing board data. So the bank has all the data at the click of a button immediately as soon as warehouse receipt is generated. And simple calculation, if you have deposited, say, 10 lakhs rupee worth of 1 lakh rupee worth of commodity, you will get 70,000 rupee worth of commodity, 70%. So that is how this platform has been devised. And that has been a life changer for many farmers. We have very good success stories from the farmers coming there. We also work onto the same principles using decentralized finance in some other parts of the world, like in Africa, Southeast Asia, etc., where the brand proof finance is used. So DeFi is a new concept of using, you can think of DeFi as a global P2P lending network. So that's what we use, and we use banks as well. The next slide, please, Sauravji. So what happened that earlier, first of all, if the farmer will give a loan, if they get, because number of times they don't get entertained on the warehouse receipt finance by the banks. If they get it, it used to take around 2 weeks. Now it happens instantaneously. Even when they wanted to sell, it was a 3 to 4 day process. Now they can actually sell directly onto the platform. There is market linkage, and they will be able to repay the loan using the proceeds of the proceeds from the sale itself. Last slide, please. And this is something which is a unique concept which is coming up, which world is developing in partnership with World Bank and IFC for a global market for the global banks across the globe. It is known as it is a pre-harvest financing known as e-crop receipt. You can think of similar to our Kisan credit card, but technology behind that is quite different and 100% digitally enabled. We're using the farmers farm holding data and the yield data verified by the third party. A global network of financing is being created. Means initially, with the help of this data, the banks will be lending into their local market. But then, as you can see on the, if you look at the bottom, 11 and 12 number steps. So up to steps number 10, it is all the regular banking process, just that it runs on blockchain. But after that, the blockchain beauty comes up. And at that point of time, 11 and 12, global financiers will be able to refinance these bankers who have given agriculture loans. So essentially, global financiers like DFIs, like World Bank, IFC, but also other other type of financiers who are working with IFC, for example, even family offices, even hedge funds, even credit funds, they will be able to finance the farmers using this route of tokenization indirectly. So once the bank has given a loan, it will be securitized, it will be sold to DFIs, global financial institutions, and that way a continuous stream of income and a global network of lenders and borrowers will be created. So this is under development. We will be launching it next month. So with this, I believe we are done. We are good on time as well. So sort of the next slide, please. And essentially, the core idea is that how do you create impact in the lives of the farmers by providing them better financial inclusion? But please remember, it's not about financial inclusion. It's about getting higher income for the farmers by provision of getting them credit. So that way you are able to deepen the financial market as well as agriculture market of the world. Next slide, please. So this is all from my side. Thanks a lot for patient hearing. And if there are any questions, I would love to answer them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for briefly explaining how agri-fintech startups work and how it is providing services for the farmers and also lenders, like in providing access to the capital and financial inclusion, and also how it is doing the risk mitigation and how you are creating positive impact on the livelihood of the small and marginal farmers. So this will be definitely going to be helpful for all the participants. So moving on to the next session, so we'll take up some few questions. The provided time. So there is a question from Rajiv Bishoi. He's asking question to Vikrant sir. So he's asking, he is from consultant house, it seems. So he's asking how to empanel with the Krishi Fin.
So please visit our site. You have number and you can chat on WhatsApp, and from there onwards we can take forward the discussion. Right? It's a very simple process. It depends on where you operate, so we can discuss further. Please connect us through the website, and the email ID is already provided in the chat box. Please connect.
Okay, so participants, you can raise your hands also. We will unmute you and you can ask directly question to the speakers. There is a question from Rohan. He is asking how Krishifin is providing funded subsidized rate. So he wants to know how this credit process works.
So I have seen that question. So basically, the question is about interest subvention loans. Yes, we do interest subvention loans as well as per the government scheme, which is KCC interest subvention scheme, and banks are doing loans as per the same interest subvention process. It's a standardized process across all the banks because it's a government run scheme.
Yes, thank you, sir. So there is a question to Ashish sir. So he's asking how a farmer can take 15,000 agri loan from AgriFin.
For Krishifin,
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
maybe I'll take this question.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes, sir.
yeah, the loan amount is dependent on what kind of crop is grown, right? Its cost of cultivation. And if there is any credit history, even if there is no credit history, that's not a problem. But if there is a credit history, what kind of credit history is maintained by the farmer or agripreneur, right? So the eligibility is completely based on the land holding and the kind of crop grown, right? Even with small land holding, it is possible for a high value crop, higher funding, depending on what is the cost of cultivation is.
Thank you, sir. And there's a question from Sharath Pant. So he's asking Ashish ji, what exactly role of blockchain plays in agri fintech?
Okay, so as we discussed that we need the doorstep delivery through data of and digital efforts. So what blockchain does, think of blockchain as, it's a very simple and tech people will not like this explanation, but as a layman, think of this that, or a non-tech person, think of this as a ERP system which connects industries. So earlier, what used to happen that there used to be systems which were for the individual departments. So you had HR system separate in a smaller early, like 20 years back. So you had HR systems, sales systems, accounting system. They did not used to talk to each other. Then ERP came. So as we call it, enterprise resource planning. Around 20 years back, the 30 years back, they came, and now the entire companies, largest of the companies, are run on a single ERP platform. They have different modules, finance, accounts, HR, etc., but they are all connected together. So what happened? The data which was remaining in silos got connected, and the efficiency and productivity increased. What was possible to do in 5 days become possible to do in 5 minutes. Today, now if you look at enterprises, so warehouse is running its warehouse ERP system. Number of them doesn't have anything. They're still a manual system, but let's assume the best of the warehouse running their ERP system. Banks running their collateral management, their CBS system, their loan management system, etc. Then, as we talked about, other parties, collateral managers running their own systems as well. They are not connected. So what happens that the process which should have taken, if it is entirely integrated, today you can send using NPCIs, connected processes, you can send money from one place to another place immediately. That doesn't happen in lending because of these enterprises working separately. What blockchain does that it connects all of them together in a single platform. It means that we call it blockchain shared ledger. It means what is happening in one entity is also known to another entity because the ledger is shared ledger. So if there are 10 type of enterprises connected, everybody is aware of the things happening in the real time. As a result, number of processes are eliminated. So for example, as you saw in this process, there is no repository. Today, if you want to create this using non-blockchain technology, you will need additional player called repository, like NERL or CCRL. Similarly, so this is one part that you remove some of the intermediaries from that. Not only that, you remove some of the processes as well, as everything is connected. For example, now the bank doesn't need to send a letter to the warehouse, confirm that there is a charge in the assets, because that charge is already recorded on blockchain. So that is the benefit which you create by connecting them all together. There are other usage as well. As we saw in pre-harvest financing, we have created a global financing ecosystem, which was not possible without blockchain. So that's the thing.
Thank you, sir. So, and there is a question from Saikat goes to Vikrant sir. So he's asking, can a farmer take loan against their agri-produce stock at village level using IR platform? Most cases I have seen loan against stock happens through banks via a collateral managed at a district level towns where mandis are present. Any case you have seen with respect to loans against stock at village level, and is it feasible?
So there
Request
are where
Ashish sir to take, please. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, actually, the names are sometimes changed. So actually speaking, the warehouses are present. There are certain warehouses which are present near to farm gate. All right. So it is not that all the warehouses are only at the mandi level. We work with a lot of government warehouses as well, which are very near to the farm gate. Now, if you are talking about real farm gate based, you can talk to Argos actually, who works in Bihar and UP. They created small warehouses at the farm gate level. So that's what they did. There are others also which are doing what is called it's a specific type of storage which is created at the farm itself, not even in the godowns. It is covered in bags. So in Africa, we are working with some of such entities who are, because here the storage facility is not that much available. So we are working with such it's called something like that. So we are working with farm gate storage at the farm level itself. So wherever such facilities are available, we are actually working with them. We have actually given very small ticket size loan, even 5,000 rupee loan to the farmers, which makes sense only when you are very near to the farm gate.
Yes, thank you, sir. Vikrant sir, you want to convey anything?
No, there were some questions on how to contact, so I, already conveyed on the
Yes,
chat.
sir. Thank you. And there is one more question from I think Dodda Basai. I think sir already answered, Vikrant sir. So there is one more question from Uttam Kumar. He's asking, what are the necessary documents required for AgriFin loan? How farmers are agripreneur approach to AgriFin? Loan pay, he's asking loan repay tenure and the rate of interest. Is it individual farmers eligible 5 lakh loan for high value fruit and vegetable cultivation for 3 years? I
So
think.
basically, yes, the loan amount is based on, as I said earlier, the kind of crop cultivated and the amount of land holding, right? Number one. Number two, they can contact us through the site. There are contact details on the site. Number three, on the documentation part. So it depends on what kind of loan it is. But basic documentations are KYC, land details, and various more details related to that. But this varies product to product and case to case. So please get in touch with us through the site and we can discuss this further.
Yes, thank you, sir. And there is a question from Ajit Singh. So he's asking, what is the charge of warehouse to hold the commodity? So,
Okay, so there is a storage charges for warehouses, which is nominal. It is typically linked to the weight and also the storage period. So it is like in Maharashtra. So our farmers pay 3.5 rupee per bag for a 1 month period. So if they are storing for say 3 months, it will be around 10 rupee 50 paise. That is rice. Some high value commodities, there can be price can be a bit more, like a 4 rupee or 5 rupee as well. But it is not a big factor. As I mentioned, if you look at NIAM data, I mean, farmers actually benefit even as after paying the storage charges and the interest rate.
yes, thank you, sir. So I'll take up one more question. So there's a question from S. Krishna Kumar. So he's asking, one side over indebtedness is increasing through NBFC and other financial companies are facing challenges like attrition. How can we resolve this issue? So I think anyone can take up this question.
Okay, I will take this up. So indebtedness is not a bad thing per se. So as we always say, leverage is a double-edged sword. Okay, so it's not a bad thing. It helps. Uh, it goes bad when you have a very high level of debt or high level of interest rates where it is impossible to repay that. So while indebtedness may be increasing into the sector, as we discussed, there is a credit gap of more than $3 trillion. So at this, we have not yet reached the saturation level. So, I think that we still have a lot of scope for the debt sector. I mean, more debt infusion into the agriculture sector.
Yes, thank you, sir. Vikrant, sir, you want to provide anything for this patient?
I think Ashish is very welcome.
Yes, thank you, sir. So still I can see a lot of questions in chat box, but since we are short of time, we need to conclude the session. So thank you participants for all your questions. So no problem if you still have any doubts. We have shared the contact details of both the speakers in the chat box. So you can ask your questions directly to them and you can mail them also. So before concluding the session, so I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to both Vikrant sir and Ashish sir for your informative session on Agri Fintech startups, and also for all the participants for your active engagement. And I would like to thank my director Sarunandra sir, the main pillar behind this 210 webinars, and also my team members for hosting this event successfully. And the participants, do not forget to give feedback of this webinar, and also the link is shared in the group, and also do not forget to register for the upcoming webinar, and stay tuned to our social media handles, and see you next week with another exciting topic. Thank you, sir. Thank you, both of you.
Thank
Sir,
you,
Vikrant, sir.
Manoj. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Helia. Thanks everyone from the team, and it was really nice to hear and see the participation. Thank you, the students as well. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, all the participants.